Hello, my name is Peter J. Ritchie, and I'm the owner and operator of SoloWorldTraveller.com. As you can see, here is when I left Miami Beach. I'm going to firstly apologise for the sound on the motorbike, because the microphone that I've got a Drift Ghost S, and I bought a microphone to go with it. Tested it at home, worked fine. Tested it on a couple of runs, worked fine, and then as soon as I put it into the helmet and left for my trip, I found that it was crackling the whole time. You could hardly hear my voice. So, sorry if you just heard me slurping a drink then. So I basically dispensed with that, and but this is me actually leaving in September, leaving Miami Beach, Florida, on my first day of the trip, and you're going to see soon the ridiculousness of my situation I found myself in, and that is my bike pack. Now, as you can see, the left, what I have remaining is the left and right bags, which are Protect bags, and then the one right behind my back is now gone. I got rid of around about 10 to 12 kilos worth of stuff after about 3 days. I thought, this is completely ridiculous. I cannot take this much gear with me, even though I'm traveling for maybe 5-6 months. So anyway, so that's that. So anyway, my first day, I actually, and the camera angle's wrong on the first few of these days. For some reason, it slipped down about an inch or half an inch. The actual sticker, I didn't realise it until after a couple of days, because I was just getting into the hotels after 8 hours of riding and was absolutely knackered, and just decided to just download the movies instead of actually doing anything else. So anyway, I found this is my first ride out, and I found out pretty quickly a couple of things really annoyed me. One, you can see on the left side, is my GPS mount from Ram Mounts. It turned out to be completely useless. I basically ended up going back to a standard a quick charger plug-in, because what was happening is I had the Reva application running, and I also had the GPS running on my phone, and the battery was draining quicker than it can charge using that silly thing from Ram. So until Ram get that sorted out, and I ended up just shipping it back to myself, and just went with the Ram mount you see on the right. I moved that over to the left side, and I use that now. So basically, I'll just talk about the first mistake I made. Is the day before I left, I packed everything, and everything packed, and all I had to do was get up, pack my bike, and leave. And what happened was, just before we left the night before, the guy who was taking over my apartment while I'm gone said, "Oh, let's go for somewhere to drink." And I took my wallet out of my let's go and play tennis. So I took my wallet out of my and have a drink afterwards. Took my wallet out of my bag, my tank bag, and put it in my tennis bag. And then after about half an hour into my trip, I just realised that I'd left the wallet in my tennis bag and hadn't put it in my tank bag. So I'd screwed up pretty big time there. So what happened was, I ended up having to turn all the way around and go back again. And this is the worst part of the trip, is Miami, leaving Miami, because it's just all highways, and as you'll see coming up, there's just four or five lanes of just straight roads, and I'll talk more about that in coming videos. But I was sweating like a pig, as you can tell. As you can probably imagine, you've got all that gear on and not a lot of air coming through. And we're using the Climb Overland jacket and pants, so it was pretty warm. And once you get on the freeways, as you can see here, these highways, they're pretty narrow lanes in Florida. So if you've got a truck next to you, you've got it right next to you. And it's pretty hot, it's just the heat coming off the tarmac, 35, 36 degrees, 95, 100, pretty unbearable. But once you got out into the open road, you didn't have to worry about cars crossing the lanes in front of you left or right. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, I had to turn back, and Noah basically, he said, "Oh, I could ship it to you," but no. So here's me trying to put the cruise control on with one hand while I had the other on, try to keep it at a steady speed. As you can see, we're switching over here. I started getting out right out of Florida. I'm turning on and off my camera there. It's actually now, the first few days, you make so many mistakes and you become a bit of a rookie with everything, but after that, it actually became a little bit of fun. I started enjoying it. A bit of showing off with no hands there. I actually, when you load your bike, you find out that no hands can sometimes be okay unless you load it in not properly. You can also see I've got the spot tracker as well on my right shoulder. That's been invaluable actually. It's been really cool just to be able to let the family know and stuff like that I'm safe at the end of the day. I've got it tied down better now. But yeah, I've got the gear includes the Drift Ghost S, which is a great little camera, and I really like the process. I find it a lot easier than GoPro. The problem is, and I'll talk about this later in my drift analysis, but the microphone, the only one apparently that can work with it properly is the Drift one, the one that comes from Drift, and because Drift is only a small player, they've just got no outlets anywhere. I've been Mexico City, all these different places looking for anyone who sells Drift. Drift says, I'll go to our website and look at our tracker, but the Mexico City store was actually, the address was located in Canada. So they might have updated it now, but there's just no one anywhere. My best bet apparently is El Salvador to get one, but I might just give up on it and just go with a Sony or something else. I just find that I'd like to be able to talk while I'm actually riding. It's a little bit annoying here. I'm arriving in Tarpon Springs. I'm just going to sit down for a while. But yeah, so that's my first day and my first day of riding, and I was pretty pooped at the end of the day, 6 or 7 hours of riding. But yeah, I really enjoyed. I'm really enjoying it now. But I'll talk a little bit more about all the other things in the coming days. But I had a great time. It was good fun, and it was it's a real learning experience. The first 4 or 5 days of travelling, and I'll talk more about that in the second and third editions. Thank you.